At Real America's Voice, we know that you want to be a part of something bigger. That's why we've teamed up with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, to build a real community of folks who care about faith and our country's future.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
Want to be a part of this movement? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's right. Grab your phone and scan the QR code to join the AMAC and Real America's Voice family today. By scanning the QR code, you'll unlock exclusive content, connect with like-minded Americans, and be first in line for events that celebrate our shared values. So don't wait. Scan the QR code. Join us today and become part of a community that stands for faith, family, and freedom.
Real rights, they come from God.
With AMAC and Real America's Voice. Go ahead, scan the QR code now.
Welcome back, everyone. We're getting you ready for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. It's set to ring here in about 8 minutes or so. We, of course, will be continuing to update you on all of the numbers. We'll also check to see if the markets are open today. That will be a check coming here in just a minute. But in the meantime, pre-market trading looking like this. You can see it right there on your screen. Again, we'll kind of update you throughout the morning. But now let's get you over to David.
Thanks, T. Bates. I appreciate it. All right, the Trump administration is preparing for the possibility of a military deployment in Minnesota. Of course, tensions continue to rise over anti-ICE protests in the Twin Cities. According to a senior U.S. official, as many as 1,500 troops with the Army's 11th Airborne Division, that's based in Alaska, and they're trained for extreme conditions, has been placed on standby with preparation to deploy orders. The move comes after President Trump threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act, warning state leaders to crack down on what he called professional agitators targeting federal immigration agents, though he later said there is no immediate need to use the law. All right, well, join us now with analysis is RealClearPolitics publisher and the host of the new show here on RAV. It's called Get Real, and that would be David DesRosiers. David, thanks for being here. Boy, first of all, congrats on the show. We want to hear more about that. I'm curious to get your reaction to what's happening in Minnesota. The president says he may not need to use the Insurrection Act, but what do you think? It's definitely a possibility. It seems like it's an art of the deal ploy at this point.
Well, I think it's up to Governor Walz and the protest industrial complex that he's working with to determine whether or not that happens. I mean, the rule of law, I believe, is under threat. I mean, you cannot have states say we're not going to follow federal law. I mean, there's means by which you can change that. It's called winning elections. But what I think they're doing right now is they are flirting up to the line. And I think in many circumstances, they've passed the line that would certainly justify Trump and the administration from doing so. No one wants to do so. But, you know, Governor Walz is kind of acting like Governor Alexander Stevens, you know, who was the vice president during the Civil War. This guy is trying to, I think, create a circumstance that might just lead to a civil war in our country. I think it looks like something like that's happening there. And it's very dangerous. And I hope that his side pulls back, because I don't think federal supremacy can or should.
Yeah, and I don't think he will. The thing is, I don't think he will pull back, and I think the Insurrection Act is going to be used at some point. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's talk about the midterms for a second. Let's talk politics. They're fast approaching. Obviously, they're basically here. James Carville, what is he, from 1982, 1991? I don't know. He's predicting a political wipeout for Republicans in November. Then you've got the RNC chairman, Joe Grutters, saying the GOP can still retain both houses of Congress. I don't know. What do you think here? What's the lay of the land at this point?
Well, I would not play ageism with James. I think he is a serious student of politics. I think, you know, listen, historically, what's on James's side? History's on his side, right? That this, you know, usually there is a change in the midterms. Also, you know, one of the things that I think the Democrats have shown is that they're very organized. I mean, they're out in the streets every day. They blow a whistle. They all show up. And, you know, politics is all about showing up on the day. And I think that, you know, the Democrats will show up. I think, you know, what the RNC chairman said, it's like, you know, Trump has to put himself on the ballot. He certainly does. And more than putting himself on the ballot, I think Republicans have to see him on the ballot. Because if there is this wipeout, even if there's a losing of the House, this whole recipe that he's created that I think can fundamentally transform the country, and is transforming it slowly, it won't come to fruition. So my hope is that the folks that are not paying their tips on tax, on Medicare, that they're going to see in Social Security, that they're going to see the dawn of a new beginning and go out and vote for it. But if that doesn't happen, the Democrats can win. I mean, if you look at the numbers at Real Clear, Republicans, are better on favorability. But when you look at the House and Congress, I think the Dems are ahead 3 points.
Yeah. Listen, David, you wrote an article earlier this month. I want to talk about this, describing the president's foreign policy as being somewhere between Mark Levin and Tucker Carlson. Talk about what you meant by that.
Well, everybody, on your channel knows that there's a divide in the conservative lobe of the mind. On one side, there's remnants of a neoconservatism, and then on the other side, there's kind of an ascendant America first. And I think Trump ran on going against the whole idea of regime change, but I think he showed a third way. Both in Iran, but also in Venezuela, right? Where, you're not going in there toppling regime. You're going in there and you're strategically influencing its behavior. And instead of kind of getting in there and owning the problem, you stay on the periphery and you manage the problem. And I think, what it really does, and I think America First needs to go into this evolution, of recognizing that there's a mean between neoconservatism and what I described as an America First Quakerism. You can be an active agent in the world, and you can do so in a responsible manner that doesn't bite off more than you can chew. And quite frankly, show, kind of Tucker and the other parts of the American First movement that a strong America is good for America at home and also the world abroad.
You called it Quakerism. We got about a minute left. You called it Quakerism. I called it before America First imperialism, and a lot of people didn't like the word imperialism. But what I meant by imperialism, to be clear, is that if it's good for America, then we'll do it. In other words, this is not nation building. This is not spreading democracy around the world. That's not what I'm talking about. Trump has an America First agenda, but if imperialism is part of it, then we'll go there. I kind of feel like we're talking about something similar here. I got 30 seconds to go.
For me, Quakerism was this concern that, that I think Tucker's been expressing recently, which is, we don't want to go out there and harm. We don't want to go out there and hurt people. We're better than that. We're Christians. And I think, that's Quakerism. It's like, I don't think you should run foreign policy from the friendly school in Baltimore. I think you have to have, an understanding of our principled interest and a restraint. And I think that Trump has showed that. And also myself, we're a republic, but we can be a republic that, represents and defends its own interest and kind of make sure that, this republic of ours endures. And I think that's what Trump is showing with, kind of national influence as opposed to and regime influence as opposed to regime change.
Right. Hey, by the way, your show, Get Real, tell us more about it. Get Real. Exciting.
I mean, I'm very excited about it. I think if people know Real Clear, they know that, it's a place where the right and the left, the jackasses and the elephants drink out of the same watering hole every day. And kind of the model of our show is viewpoint diversity, right? To show two people from two reputable places saying the opposite things about the same reality. And, the goal of this show is to bring those people and those institutions and those bylines and stories together to engage and to do it in a civil manner, right? To kind of tone it down a little bit, but have the engagement, but, to bring our Sunday best to important topics of the day.
It's interesting. You say bring people together and have that dialogue. And yes, that would be phenomenal in some sort of utopian world. We're not there. We're in two different areas. So I'm curious, in about 30 seconds or so, what to kind of understand the reality that we're in and how we get to that place that you want to go.
Well, first of all, what I love about this is that RAV is going to help build that utopian world, right? Where at least once a week for an hour, right, both sides come into contact with each other. And I do think that, you speak a particular way when you're speaking to, a narrow audience. I think you speak another way when you're at the Thanksgiving Day table and you want to try to convince, your less than crazy uncle or aunt to come your way. Politics is about persuasion. Persuasion presupposes that the person on the other side doesn't think like you, but could if you give the right argument. So my goal with this is not to build, I want to build a market share for the truth, right? I think that I think by having people talk to each other, we'll know why we don't like them more, or where we might be able to get together on common ground. But eventually, I think we need a realignment in the American mind, and we hope this show will help bring that about.
I agree about that for sure. David, great to have you on. I understand a little birdie just told me that you had your first you had a grandchild yesterday born to you. Is that correct?
Yes. So
congratulations.
Thank you very much. His name is Hudson. He came in at a big, almost 9.1 pounds, 26 inches.
Oh.
Going to be a big one.
Oh, offensive tackle. Appreciate it. All right. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, David. All right. Time. Let's head over, to T. Bates in Denver. T, to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. No grandchildren here, but I'm still more than happy for you to congratulate me on something, David.
Congratulations on your stellar anchoring abilities.
You know what? I'll take that. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Excuse me. Congratulations on coughing on the air now. Typically, this is the time where we take you to New York for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. No bell this morning, obvious because of Martin Luther King Day. The markets, we're hearing, are closed today. So we'll continue to monitor all of that for you. And tomorrow, this time, we'll absolutely take you to New York for the opening bell. In the meantime, a new year means new financial goals, like making sure that your savings are secure and diversified. So will this be the year that you finally listen to us here on RAV and talk to someone from the Birch Gold Group? They're really great people, and we really appreciate their educational approach and their understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces out there pushing the dollar lower and gold higher, and that's why the Birch Gold Group believes that every American should own physical gold. Until January 30th, if you're a first-time buyer of gold, the Birch Gold Group is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. In order to claim eligibility and start the process, text the word America to the number 989898. The Birch Gold Group can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you're still eligible for a rebate of up to $10,000. Make right now your first time to buy gold and to take advantage of a rebate of up to $10,000 when you buy by January 30th. Text the word America to the number 989898 and claim your eligibility today. Again, text America to the number 989898. Still to come here on American Sunrise, a new poll shows that most Americans are worried about the influence of radical Islam here at home as global tensions and domestic politics collide. We'll break it down for you by the numbers. First, though, a look at this day in history.
Ricky, this is it.
This is it! Let's go!
It was on this day in 1953 that actress Lucille Ball made television history by welcoming a baby boy both in real life and on the screen. Ball delivered her son by planned cesarean section, while her character, Lucy Ricardo, also gave birth on the hit sitcom I Love Lucy. This all happened at a time when pregnancy was rarely shown on television. The episode helped break taboos around the childbirth. The episode, Lucy Goes to the Hospital, was watched by an estimated 44 million viewers, making it one of the most watched television events of its era. More American Sunrise in just a couple of minutes.